Happy Sunday, family. Happy. Excuse me. Mm, that's that grapefruit medication. You know what I'm saying? Jesus. Happy Sunday, everybody. Happy Sunday. Sometimes you need a deep inhale and a deep exhale. You know what I mean? It was like, if anybody who's in the Cat Williams films, he had this one film that he did with one of the lovely ladies that was co-starring in the film with him. She was helping him get ready in the morning, and he was like, he took 3 pulls. He was like, 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get funny, 4th pull, go brother go. You know what I'm saying? So I just felt like I had to do that, get my go brother go positive mantra going. Get a little lemon ginger tea. Start the show off on the right foot. How you guys feeling? Wednesday, Thursday show was very interesting. I hope you guys, if you haven't had a chance yet, please go check out the Kamala Harris Mike Pence special where I covered in depth my perspectives on everything that went on with the debate. And please feel free, if you agree, disagree, love what I said, hate what I said, you know where to reach me. You know where to reach me. His ghetto point of view at gmail.com. His ghetto point of view at gmail.com. HISGHETTO point of view at gmail.com. Hope everybody's having a great, great week. It's your boy Phantm Phuego. We out here, we in here, we doing it, we doing it, we doing it. Hope everybody's had a wonderful, wonderful week so far. If you haven't had a wonderful week so far, well, I'm sorry, I should say I hope everybody's had a wonderful week. And now it's Sunday. We get to start anew, start fresh. If last week was a little rough, well, guess what? It's Sunday all over again. You still here, you still breathing. As long as you still got your health, you got your wits about you, you have an opportunity to change things around. You have an opportunity to make things different in your life. You have an opportunity to push things to a different level. You have an opportunity to make the most of your opportunities. You have an opportunity to do what hasn't been done. And make the most of it. Because as this November creeps closer, we only know what can happen, So just make the most of these times, guys, is all I'm trying to say. Make the most of every day, but make the most of these times, especially because, these times is here today and gone tomorrow kind of times, And I don't mean that from just always a figurative, a literal sense, Sometimes it's figurative, where opportunity could be gone tomorrow. You were supposed to meet up with that girl and you ain't hit her up for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Oh, she guess you don't like it. You don't like her. You must not be feeling her. She's gonna move on. A job opportunity, 1, 2, 3 days, maybe even a week or two. They may wait for you to get your stuff in order. After that, they moving on. They gotta move on. They gotta check on other candidates who may be willing and ready to start work immediately. And it may not be that you're not willing, not. You might not be ready. You might have legit issues causing you to be prevented from working at the time. And, got to deal with that. And rushing back is just not going to help you. It's not going to help them. You're not going to be able to maximize the opportunity anyway. When preparation meets planning, preparation and opportunity meet, that's kind of luck. Preparation, planning, opportunity, You know, you kind of create your own luck in those scenarios. Um, it's all about being open to the opportunities, being committed, being willing to make it happen. It's your boy Phantm Phuego, and we here making it happen. It's Sunday. We doing this like we do it, like we does it because we does this. His Ghetto point of view is the show. You guys are the most brilliant, most studious, most intelligent audience in the galaxy, in the cosmos, in the nebula, in all of the cosmos. I don't think there's a doper audience. I don't think there are better people around, because you guys could be anywhere in the world, but you decide to rock with me and vibe with me, and I'm forever appreciative of that. As always, you know, got to take care of a little business. Shout out to ajskitchen.com. Guys, AJ's Kitchen is serving up that vegan soul food. They got their soul food Sunday platters. Vegan food, but you can't tell. It is delicious. It is delicious. It is delicious. And it's good for you. Ish. Good for you ish. Definitely healthier than the meat and dairy alternatives. Have a wide array assortment of things. Their vegan mac and cheese recipe is amazing. I think they use 3 different types of Violife cheese in there. Shout out to the Violife company for that. They got kids platters too, you know, chicken nuggets and fries, chicken nuggets and apple slices. They got a lot of different choices. ajskitchen@gmail.com. Proudly serving the NYC area. Order up, happiness served. ajskitchen@gmail.com. That is AJSKITCHINN. AJSKITCHINN. ajskitchen@gmail.com. Order up, happiness served. Proudly serving NYC area. They do their thing. I love their food. They cater his Ghetto point of view quite often. Other than that, EQislife@gmail.com is your place to get any audio mixing, mastering, music production done. EQislife@gmail.com. Give us a shout. In addition to that, as always, you know, if you need any stuff specifically on the writing or the features tip, Phantm Phuego@gmail.com is where you can reach out to me for that. PHANTM PHUEGO, Phantm Phuego@gmail.com. EQislife@gmail.com if you have any production needs, if you have any mixing, mastering, post for film, sound design for film, ADR, Foley needs. EQislife@gmail.com. I also do have an amazing YouTube series. I'll actually be updating it and putting some more educational videos up there called EQ is Life, and you can check that out on YouTube. I've got about 50 something episodes going so far where you can get tips and tricks on, you know, production. I'm mostly using Pro Tools. I think I have a couple episodes that I did some stuff in Cubase, but all of the tips and tricks that I show you, you can translate over to any single DAW, digital audio workstations, for my people that aren't for my people not into the music biz. Pretty much your computer programs that you do your music in. You can transfer all the tips and tricks I show you into any computer program, Mac or PC. No matter which plugins you have, everything I show you, you can use the stock plugins or the plugins that come directly with your program right out the box. EQ is Life on YouTube, EQislife@gmail.com for any assistance with any of your recording, mixing, mastering, sound design, ADR, Foley, sound replacement, sound editing, audio editing needs, films, video games, albums, EPs, LPs, mixtapes. EQislife@gmail.com. 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 All right, guys. Wow. Well, it's been an interesting week. Y'all know it's been an interesting week, right? Oh man. unrest in the streets. It's like this summer never even happened. It's like this summer didn't even happen. You know, like, I don't know what to say anymore about the losses of life, the rioting, the protests, the civil. I don't know what to say anymore. Like, they have us to a point where we're becoming desensitized by the amount of killings because it's occurring so much. And it's an insane amount to try to keep up with. And if the news is not informing you of each and every occurrence, you might not actually be able to keep up. You may not want to keep up. It is insane. It's absolutely insane. All I can continue to do is say RIP. All I continue to do is say SIP. And it's angering me so much on the inside. Why do we have to continue to lose so many amazing people? And even if they wasn't good people by this society's standards, I don't know why this society gets to judge people the way it does. Anybody who reads any history book sees what our country was built upon. And if you look at the news these days, unfortunately, in many parts of the world, there are many freedoms, basic human dignities that are still not being fairly distributed. So it's always interesting to me that people who have, one could argue, created a system and a construct where only some people get to be successful and others are intentionally left to suffer until they figure it out, until they free their minds, until they free themselves from the okie doke, the trap, until they stop falling victim, playing victim, being victim. And that could take decades. That could take a lifetime. You could pass that on to your child's child. And they could all live in adverse poverty with themselves and their families for generations. For decades. And then when people in those situations of immense poverty, immense hunger, immense pain, immense strife, immense suffering, when people living like that go do something that society doesn't approve of, the same people who helped put them in that situation make money off of pointing out that they did something wrong, quote unquote wrong, as they now deal in this situation they didn't ask to be in. There's a problem they didn't create. They're responding to the problem in the only ways they can see how until things change in their mind. We've all done it. And without any type of outside force coming in, I mean, this is basic psychology stuff. If you grow up in a particular environment, you're going to 9 times out of 10, maybe 8 out of 10 if you want to be fair and say everyone's not the same, fine. 8 times out of 10, there are outliers. There are people that, just have a particular spirit, a particular will, a particular frame of mind already out the gate. Absolutely. But for 8 out of 10 people, their environment is going to heavily shape the majority of their thoughts, their feelings, their actions, their goals, their desires, their ambitions, their aspirations. They're only going to go as far as they feel they can go. They're only going to try to accomplish the things that they think are practical depending on where they grew up. if they have role models or people around them that they could be like, yo, that dude really got to it doing X, Y, and Z. Yo, this queen really got to it doing Ray to Ray to Ray. That young lady opened up her own accounting firm. This young brother right here opened up his own auto mechanic garage. This young lady over here opened up her own daycare center. This gentleman right here opened up his own doctor's office, private practice. These guys over here opened up their own daycare. You're only going to try to attempt the things that you deem are feasible based on your surroundings and your environment. If you've never seen anybody try to accomplish anything except standing on the corner, gang banging, sex trafficking, prostitution, drug dealing, gambling. If you haven't seen anything outside of that, it'd be very hard for me to convince you that you have other options. Now, there are people that you can convince they have other options, even in those circumstances, but it's very hard. I personally had to be convinced I had other options. I was out there in the streets going crazy. I wasn't as bad as some people by a long mile. I ain't believe in getting caught. I didn't really believe in following the crowd so much. So even as I affiliated myself with things and affiliated myself with groups of people, I still was pretty much a loner. You know, you could catch me out 2, 3, 4 in the morning just by myself, walking through every part of the city, taking the ferry rides late at night by myself, just you know, being a rebel through the city. Just being a rebel through the city, to be honest. Just being a rebel through the city. Every time I'd link with people, but then, you know, by the end of the night, you know, it was back to me just roaming around, doing my own thing, you know, and I had a lot of stops to make every day. We'll just leave it at that. I always had a lot of stops to make in my younger days, especially in high school. I had a lot of stops to make places. College, had a lot of stops to make. So I'll leave it at that. And so I was always, you know, just moving around the city. And I didn't see anything else for myself for a long time. It wasn't until I got a job working around some other brothers, and this was the first time I'd actually had a chance to talk to some black men who weren't, what's a nice way I could say this, who wasn't, the majority of the black men I had spoken to prior to me getting this job, while some of them may have been successful in life, they weren't really impactful in society. You know what I'm saying? Like, they weren't really doing anything to rock the ship or cause waves or trouble the waters. These people, like, their little job they had or the little business they ran, went to work, came home, or went to work and then ran a side hustle and then went home, or went to work and went to their girlfriend's house, then went home. You know, they weren't really trying to be mortal. They weren't really creating an impact in their community. They weren't really caring about what was going on outside of them. You know, they were making good money, having good times, buying a lot of drugs, buying a lot of fly clothes, you know, hanging out with a lot of beautiful women. And they just thought, what can be better than this? And so, you know, those individuals didn't really have an impact on me because, you know, I just felt they was just on the other side of the game, but they were still playing the game. Yeah, they might not have been what today we would call being mixy in the streets. They might have been, you know what I mean, being what we call civilians. You know, they might have not been playing in the streets. They might have been walking the sidewalks, as you know, people would say. They might not have been in the field, for to use some of that lingo. But they still had they were still getting mixy. A lot of it was tricks. You know, for those that aren't aware, that's somebody who, enjoys the company of some lovely ladies of the night. You know, enjoys the pleasure of a young lady that he can, he'll make a donation towards your college fund for a bit of your time or an evening or a weekend. You know, so they in their own way were still playing games. So they didn't really have an effect on me or change my perspective, change my narrative, change how I saw things. It wasn't until I got this job and I was working as the head of security. Crazy. I had already been doing a bunch of security jobs. Saying I'm a big guy. Got into doing some security because one of my bros put me on, oh, yo, this company's hiring to help you get your security license. And this was like early 2000s when doing security jobs was starting to really pick up after 9/11. I was not in school. I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do with my life. I went directly to college right out of high school, but then just messed that up, dropped out. Just was in the streets, just was, my head was all over the place. I got into a really dope school because I had good grades in high school. Always was on the honor roll, you know what I'm saying? The work was just mad easy for me. But dope SAT scores, all that. But I just was so undisciplined. I was so raw coming from the environment I came from. I had never seen anything outside of my environment. For extended periods of time. I'd always done stuff like, go on little trips, go on vacations, go to camps, what have you. But it was always still around the same kind of people as I was getting older, So it wasn't, the influence on me was so heavy at that time, nothing could change it. The influence on me at that time was real negative. It was real dark, and nothing was getting in the way of it. Nothing was stopping it from happening. Nothing was, it was what it was, I was going to be in the streets. I was going to be, making my rounds all around the city. Being who I was. I wasn't going, I wasn't no super violent person out here. I wasn't out here, shooting people and nothing unnecessarily or anything crazy like that. But, I was, I took care of business when it needed to be taken care of on a variety of levels. As many of us, unfortunately, who grew up in the type of environment I did, me personally coming up in, New York City, 80s and 90s. It was a very drug heavy era, gang heavy era, and you affiliate yourself with things, and you survive financially the only ways you feel you can because you're not seeing the different alternatives. I'm no different, even though I have a master's degree and all that now. It was definitely a journey to get to this side. It was definitely a journey to get to this side, So yeah, it was definitely a hell of a journey to get to this side. It was quite a journey to get to this side. Man. I say all that to say, I'm not perfect. I'm not an angel. I've been through a lot, and I feel that if it wasn't for outside interference helping me to change my perspective, change my mind. I don't know what I'll be doing today. I don't know where I'd be today. I don't know if I would be today. I don't know if I'd be alive. I really don't know if I'd be alive had I not changed my mindset, changed my mind, changed the environments that I was hanging in and the things I was getting myself involved with. I don't know if I'd be alive. I don't know if I'd be incarcerated. I don't know what I would be. And even after, I met those people and, they opened me up to a lot of different things. Having new information about the world and about, the way things around you operate and changing, somebody giving you a culture shock and completely changing your perspective can really anger you at first, when you start to really learn how the world works and see how things tick, it can almost overwhelm you. You can feel like, yo, damn, this is really how the government allegedly gets down, and this is really how cops is allegedly treating people, or this is really how, the system is set up allegedly for this to keep happening to people over and over, and this has been going on, for hundreds of years of history, if not longer. That type of information can burn you up on the inside and make you want to burn everything down around you. So I was on fire for a while, and I had to figure a way to be helpful and effective and affect positive change. And that's something I'm still working on, y'all. I'm far from a finished product. I'm far from a completed painting. I'm far from a done album. I'm just working and trying to, now that I know things is different in life, now that I see things from a different perspective, and that perspective is still evolving, still growing, still changing. Now that I'm seeing things the way I do, and now that, my goals are different in life, my objectives, I'm older, I'm more mature. With that maturity and perspective, I just feel like I'm in a good place to make a lot of positive changes for a lot of people and impact my community. And I feel me impacting my community, that'll spark the change. That'll spark bigger change, I don't know if I'll get to impact the city or the world, but I feel that impacting my community impacts the microcosm of the world. And then the macrocosm will be impacted by the people I help impact. I feel I'm that first level of the change in the chain, or the second or third level, because so many people had to pour into me for me to be able to turn around and now be the change for others. So I'm just a continuation in the chain of dopeness. And if it wasn't for these people pouring into me and showing me love and showing care for me, I wouldn't be able to turn around and show it to others. And I think that's the way it's supposed to be. I think when people show you love and try to make sure you good and try to take care of you, try to make sure you reach your potential, because people always said I was smart. I was always in, good schools and stuff, but I was just, even going to private schools, even being in math contests and spelling bees all across the tri-state area, going to special gifted talents, I was still a wild guy, because the work was literally so easy for me that I didn't really have to apply myself until I got to college. And I had teachers that failed me because I had been so used to just not having to apply myself that I thought, well, I'm just going to keep not applying myself, and this is whatever. Oh, and I ain't even got to actually come to class now. This is college. This is dope. I could just come take the test. Nope. my English teacher, brother, one of the few actual brothers I had as a teacher, said he wasn't having it. Said he don't care who I think I am. He was going to fail me just as easy as he would fail. I don't care. He didn't care who I thought I was. He was going to show me who he knew I could be. And the only way he could do that is by giving me an F. The only way he could do that was by giving me an F. I needed to know that it didn't matter who I felt like I was. He saw much more potential in me than I even saw in myself. But I wasn't going to get nearly where I could be if I didn't change. If I didn't change my mindset. If I didn't have more ambition. If I didn't understand that along with ambition and desire and dreaming for stuff, you was going to really have to put in some groundwork. So I really appreciate that. And I know some people be like, damn, you failed your English class? What type of, who fails English? What type of American fails? One that just don't care. One that just is in class playing around. You know, he gave us stuff to read on the Freedom Riders and all that. And I was just not into it. I said, yo, this is a nonsense class. And it came back to bite me in the tail, you know? But I feel like it was the best thing that could have happened to me, because had that not happened, I wouldn't probably be talking to you right now. Like, I've had so many of those experiences in my life. Just get your mind right. Get your mind right. And you know, the rest is history. The rest is history. I eventually go back to school, you know. Now, MFA later, think about going to get a doctorate now. But like, yeah, man, it's been an amazing journey. It's been an absolutely amazing journey. I can't say enough about it. It's been an absolutely amazing journey. If I could do anything different, I don't know, you know? Because I don't know if then it would equal to me not being where I am now and who I am now. And I really love how I've turned out. You know, despite all the craziness, I can honestly say that. So I don't know. I don't know if I do anything different. What about you guys? Have you ever had any things in your life that you wish you could change or do different, you know, now that you're older and have a different perspective? Of course, you know, we can always say things, oh yeah, I want more money or a bigger house, but those are like material things. Like, you as a person, everything you went through, the good, the bad, the ups, the downs, the rainfalls and the droughts, the rough patches and the smooth sailing, the good and the bad and the ugly, the neutral. All of those things shaped you to being who you are. And despite your problems, unless you have really serious problems, then maybe this conversation doesn't apply to you. But I know most of my listeners are actually probably in good spaces in their life and in good spirits. And even when we're going through rough patches and dry spells, you know, we always understand that there's a better tomorrow. Even if you got to go seek some counseling, seek some help, do some meditations, do some yoga. You know, there are ways to get yourself through. And we, you know, most of my listeners, y'all are a very savvy group. Y'all know those things. So I ask you guys, seriously, really think about that and let me know. His ghetto point of view at gmail.com. His ghetto point of view at gmail.com. Really think about it, guys. Let me know. Do you think you would change anything if you could? Do you think you would change your life if you could? Do you think there are things in your life that are like really so horrific that you would change them now? I probably, you know, of course there's things I would want to change, but I don't know if changing those things would allow me to still be who I am today, because one change changes everything else. You know, you might be married to the person that you love right now. You might love a person dearly now that you're married to. and y'all might be in that really good place, you know. Would you even know that person had your life been different? You might have beautiful kids now. Would you have those kids if your life was different? You might have an amazing profession, amazing job, a dope occupation. You might run a couple businesses or got a few rental properties or some dope assets that, you know, just give you some recurring income. Might hit a financial windfall, lottery, what have you. You might have caught a lawsuit because you got hit by a truck. I don't know. Would you have gotten hit by that truck if you wasn't, you know, drunk that night at that party? I don't know. You know, it's life is crazy, man, and despite all the ups and downs, and most of us is in good places, man. Like, there's so many people going through so much worse stuff. There's literally people with no lights right now, no gas, no food, no running water, living on dirt roads with no shoes, and like, I don't have none of those problems. Have I been homeless? Yeah. Have I had food instability? Yeah. Have I had home instability? Yeah. But I live in a country where I've been able to, even through instabilities, be semi-okay. Not doing well, not even doing good, not even doing 100% okay, but semi-okay. You know what I'm saying? There were public policies in place to help me try to transition into a better state of life. And it was either use those public programs to get yourself into a better state of life, or use these public programs as a crutch to get old and then die on public programs. I now have a master's degree of fine arts. I chose to use whatever I needed to use to get where I wanted to go. And I'm only still pushing forward to bigger and better. I'm only still pushing forward to bigger and better. I'm only still pushing forward to bigger and better. And as long as you have the genuine opportunity to do that, you know what I mean? Some places in the world is harder than others. Some situations, some cultures in the world is harder than others. But if you are in a place, in a position where you could get to it, like it's nothing to it, you know how to do it. If you don't know how to do it, learn how to do it. If you got YouTube, if you got a smartphone, you got access to some internet, learn how to do it. Get to it. Change your life the way you want it to be. Change your life for the better, because it's possible. I don't care what's going on with these elections. I don't care what's going on with the civil unrest. It's possible to change your life for the better. People sitting out here scared. Is we gonna make it? Oh, is we? So you could walk outside your house and get hit by a car. You gonna stop chasing your dreams? You don't know. Nobody's promised tomorrow. But while you here, chase your damn dreams. Yes, plan for a rocky future. Yes, plan for things to go crazy. Yes, keep yourself and keep your family and keep your loved ones safe, healthy, wise. Be alert. Have plans in place. But don't let that ever stop you from living. Don't let anything ever stop you from living. Live your life. Live your life. Don't let nothing stop you from living. Be wise, be safe, be protected. Do things as cautiously as you can, but take risk. Learn how to manage risk. Learn how to mitigate your losses. Learn how to balance your losses with a big win. Take losses that you can afford to take to get to the next win. I was actually watching, shouts to Eddie Murphy. I was watching The Distinguished Gentleman this weekend. It's so hard to find that movie. But Distinguished Gentleman, a classic movie where Eddie Murphy plays a senator by the name of Thomas Jefferson Johnson. And he actually uses name recognition solely to win on the ballot from Florida, gets into the Senate, learns how underhanded and seedy and treacherous and snake oily some of the people in the Senate could be. And, what's crazy is, his, character development, or, the transition of a character from beginning to end of a story. His character's arc, he was this real snaky, conniving hustler at the beginning, and so was his team. But by the end, they was all being these real, good, upstanding people just trying to fight for what was right and trying to get this. In particular, there was this young girl who her mom was trying to get an appointment with Eddie Murphy, as he was Senator Johnson at this point. And, they were ducking, wouldn't give her an appointment. They run into them in the office. I don't want to give too much away, but the daughter ended up having cancer. Turns out she lived around what is known as these cancer clusters, or these power clusters that have been reported to giving many children cancer. Like, if you look it up, a lot of parents have sued companies like Sprint, AT&T, and T-Mobile over their children being harmed by the proximity of very powerful phone lines and phone, antennas, communication antennas, being in the close proximity of their homes or their schools. And Sprint recently even had to move some towers, move some of the communication connections away from some schools after being sued, and it was being, clearly indicated and clear links to them contributing to all these children getting really, really early onset cancer conditions. And that goes on a lot, and it's not really talked about as much as you would think. And it was so hard for me to find this movie. Those are stories for other days. But I found it. It was dope. It's a great movie. If you get a chance to watch it, please do. The Distinguished Gentleman. If you have it, if you have a really good copy of The Distinguished Gentleman and you feel like just giving that to me, I'll pay you for it. If you got like a Blu-ray or a digital copy of it, that you feel like reselling, it is your property. You can resell. I also used to work at pawn shops. If you have a Blu-ray or DVD, a Blu-ray or a digital copy of it that you would like to sell me, that is an official digital copy that like claim with your Blu-ray or something, let's talk. I definitely want to have a good copy of that movie. His Ghetto Point of View at gmail.com. His Ghetto Point of View at gmail.com. Or if you can let me know where I can go buy a good copy of that, because it's a great film. I highly recommend it, and it's just one of those films you just should keep in your collection because it's really dope. And not too many people know about that film, unfortunately, and know about that great work. I was actually doing some research on it when I was watching it. It's the first film that Paramount, who Eddie Murphy had his huge film deal with, it was the first film that they neglected to distribute for him. And even despite it having an excellent cast and, having this great story plot and coming out really well and turning into a cult classic, they refused to distribute the film. And, with all the political narratives going on in the film, you could easily understand why. I'm sure the people that are at the top of Paramount, I'm sure some people that sit on high seats in Paramount probably also have some political ties or affiliations. And, it's never good to mess up your political affiliations whenever you can afford not to. So The Distinguished Gentleman, great film. Check it out. Yeah, check it out. I definitely recommend it. It's definitely a flamethrower. Good and good for you. Good message at the end too. It's a feel-good film, but also has enough grimy underhandedness going on to really make you also enjoy it. The guy who starred in Rock, not Rocky Carroll, but the gentleman who played Rock himself in the television show, he's also in the film. It has a great cast. I highly recommend it. I really recommend the film. Can't say enough good things about it. It's His Ghetto Point of View, bringing you the news, views, reviews, and previews with just a twist of His Ghetto Point of View. Can't say enough good things about Anchor.fm Anchor FM is the place where you can find his Ghetto Point of View. We're also now streaming on Spotify, Apple, Google, One Republic, Radio Republic, Overcast. I mean, it's just been a blessing. Thank you guys so much. Please continue to like, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend, turn on all your notifications, favorite the show, whatever your particular platform does, to make sure that, to let you know that Wednesdays and Sundays we're doing this. Wednesdays and Sundays we get to it. Make sure you liking the show, hit that notification bell, favorite the show, tell a friend to tell a friend, share it on all your social platforms, share it on your Facebooks, your Instagrams, your Twitters, your Snaps. Let people know that his Ghetto Point of View is on. Tell people about your favorite episode and why. Which episode touched you the most? Was it the episode when I had Shauna J come through? Episode with Commander Flame was here? The episode with T. Cali? The episode with the Black Dot? Which episode was your favorite? The episode with O'Henny Cornelius? The episode with Mandela Esquia? Which episode did you like the most? Please let people know. Please tell people to subscribe. Please let people know this is the podcast to get into, his Ghetto Point of View, and we only getting started and we only moving up. You know, we just, it's been an amazing ride, and it's all because of you guys, this wonderful audience I have. I really can't say enough about how much you guys help me out. It's such an honor and such a privilege to rock with you guys every Wednesday and Sunday. And as things get crazier in the world, just know your boy Phantm Phuego will be here for you. Your boy Phantm Phuego will be here for you. I am the shoulder you can lean on and depend on. Stand strong. I'm just playing, but for real though, like, just know that, you know, this community's only growing. We here to help each other build and grow and stay positive and stay encouraged and stay motivated, because it can get crazy out there. It can get insane. It can get downright ugly, you know? So just know that I'm here with you guys. I love you guys, and I appreciate all the love and support that you guys send me and send my way. His Ghetto Point of View at gmail.com, HGPOV show on Instagram, His Ghetto Point of View show on Instagram. You know, all the dope. Please continue to like, share, subscribe, add me on Instagram. You can also add my artist page if you're slow inclined and you dig the hip hop Phantm Phuego. Also, please make sure to follow all the different people that have come through to the show, from T. Cali to O'Henny Cornelius to Mandela Esquia to Shauna J, Commander Flame. Please, 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 please make sure you follow the Black Dot, the whole Urban X show. Shout out to them. Please make sure you please show them some love as well. Let them know that you came from the His Ghetto Point of View show. Let them know Phantm Phuego. Let them know that you popping out and you popping through because of Phantm Phuego. And, you know, I definitely would appreciate that. Shout to Mandela Esquia and O'Henny Cornelius, by the way. They just actually did their own Harlem edition of Versus. And that was done through Artery. Shouts to Artery. Shouts to Chris Carr, Brooklyn Wildlife. And, yeah, that was really dope. That came out really well. And that actually just was done yesterday. So if you go to either of their pages, either O'Henny Cornelius or Mandela Esquia, you can check out the Verses, check out a bunch of great music from them. They're both always releasing amazing, amazing content. Mandela Esquia with the Black God Pantheon and O'Henny Cornelius with the Harlem River Yacht Club. They're always releasing amazing stuff. Plus, O'Henny also has his Smokes and Jokes comedy series where he brings out a ton of amazing, amazing comics. Shout to Laz Rivero. Shout to all the amazing comics that do that show. And yeah, man, I can't really say enough good things about it. This is His Ghetto Point of View. It's your boy Phantm Phuego. Shouts to Prince Kurt Russell as well. Shouts to all the amazing comedians that have come through. I got some more dope comedians in the works. I'm just very happy with where my show is at, where it's going. Shouts to Dory Dimples. Shouts to Janae Boston. Shouts to everybody that's been showing love. It's an amazing feeling when you doing something and people feel the energy you putting out there, and they, you know, show love back and start to give you some energy back. Shout to freaking Merce, the Big Body Benz. Make sure y'all listen to her music. She's a problem. Every single project she put out is so dope. She also is doing tarot now and readings now. Make sure you check her out on Instagram. Merc, MERC, the Big Body Benz. Merc, MERC, the Big Body Benz. No E at the end of Merc. MERC, the Big Body Benz, on every single platform. And yeah, you would definitely not regret it. Much love to everybody who's been showing me love. Shout out to Brittany Cant with music too. She is so dope. Haven't really got to get up with her in a minute, but much love always to you, Brittany. Shout out to Sasha Just. Shout out to her movement, her wave. She's been so warm and gracious. And, you know, every time me and her got together, she's an amazing soul, a good spirit, great person. With all that being said, I'm going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Let's get to it. Yeah, so we are back. Jay Electronica new album, part 2 or volume 2, leaked over the weekend. It's been getting a lot of spins, a lot of run-ups. I checked it out. I love Jay Electronica, Jay Rap Hanukkah, Jay Rap Phenomena, Jay Electromeda, so Act 2, The Patents of Nobility, it's the super rough early version. I don't know how many times he can continue to put out an album that is not technically on point and get the appreciation and the love. A lot of people had an issue with the most recent project he dropped because they said there were a lot of technical difficulties. They would even argue where you could hear the differences in the places where Jay Elect possibly did his recordings at maybe lower end studios than Jay-Z did, and Jay-Z, a lot of his stuff is in-house by his engineer, and maybe Jay Electronica had a different engineer when he worked on his verses, and it just all had to get put together as best as it could at the end. So I'm hoping that this is the rough, as it's said when the album was leaked, and we're gonna get some more polished versions of these songs. But from what I heard so far, I really was impressed with where the album can go. With the potential I heard was absolutely amazing. Real Magic was dope. Life on Mars was dope. 10,000 Lotus, that just seemed like it was instrumental, so I don't know what to say about that yet. I'll see if there's something more on it as the album passes out. But so far, without question, Memories and Merlot was my favorite joint. New Illuminati was fire too, the snippet of it, because it ended abruptly. So Road to Perdition with the Jay-Z sample was dumb fire. I was hoping I'd actually get a Jay-Z verse. Welcome to Knightsbridge was fire. Listen, man, I didn't have anything really negative to say bars wise. He does that. Can't really say nothing about the bars and the storytelling. Running High was one of my favorite. Like, I felt that was the one that had the most, the most to say. Like that track really, he was talking his shit. He was in his element. That was Jay Rap Phenomena. Jay Rap Andromeda. I just want to hear a polished album. You know what I'm saying? I want to hear sonically it sound the same from top to bottom. I'm not saying I can't appreciate the records like that, because I myself, as a person who puts out music, I've put out stuff that didn't have the best mixes on it, and people still gave it plays here and there, and I appreciated that. But I'm starting, as I'm getting further into the game, I understand the importance of having the polished project. And he's got a bigger name and a bigger cachet, so he can kind of rock off the cachet a little bit. But it seems kind of crazy to have all of these big energy behind you and not put out a project that would be on par with somebody who has the big machine working with him. So I definitely want to see some more on the mixing, mastering, production value tip. But as far as writing, rhymes, production selection, as far as beat goes, the compositions that went along with the lyrics, I give it 7 out of 10 matches right now, and hope that with the production value increasing, the mixing and mastering going to bigger and better studios are being finished off by, notable engineers, because you down with The Rock, you down with Jay. I know you got notable engineers just a phone call away. So I'm sure that won't be a problem. It's just a matter of if they're trying to go that vibe, or is this just going to be another grimy project to get us ready for when the formal joint drops. Either way, I'm here for it. I thought it was dope. 7 out of 10 matches. It's definitely a heater. Not quite a flamethrower. It's not flamethrowing just yet. But hopefully, as this project continues to take form over the next few weeks and months, we'll definitely hear more of a polished version of this, and it'll be insane. Looking forward to it, Jay Electronica. Looking forward to it. All right. In other news, I said I was going to further elaborate on the Kanye West allegedly owing Big Sean $3 million, as reported by Charlemagne Da God. Charlemagne. Listen, bro. Listen, my brother. If we don't get unity now, when we gonna get it, King? If we don't get unity now, when will we ever have it, my brother? Just tell me. If not now, when? If not us, who? Just tell me. Just explain to me why you feel this is the time for you to get out here. And every other word out your mouth right now, it seems, is some reason that Joe Budden doesn't know what he's doing, is off his rocker, overvaluing his company, don't do good business, doesn't know how to do business, doesn't know what he's talking about, probably needs to let other people handle this for him, etc., etc., etc. And now Kanye seems is your new target, and it seems that the timing of this couldn't be more interesting to me, because as you're professing ownership, you're literally attacking other brothers who are going after the very same thing. While you're talking, being the man, being the chief, being the person accountable for things that go good or bad, at the same time, everything you're doing is ran by iHeart. Everything you have is because iHeart gave it to you. And that's not to say the man didn't have an illustrious career before that, because of course he did. Everybody knows the man worked for Wendy Williams and all that. Come on. The man was a dope DJ. The man put work in these streets. The man was a dope host. The man wrote several books. The man, New York Times bestseller. I mean, the man's a great author. The man has made great initiatives and pushed in the community to get people more comfortable talking about their mental health issues. So I understand that he's done great things with his platform. But right now, Charlemagne, it appears as if you are just the big pit bull for your masters, the big Rottweiler, sitting at the edge of the table waiting for Nino to pet your head. Like you can't come up with a thought of your own. Like you can't do anything unless they say jump. And that's very unfortunate. Somebody who's been in the game so long. Somebody who preaches that black is a privilege and black is a blessing and black is beautiful. And we need brotherhood and foundation and loyalty out here. Though one could say when you interviewed Gucci Mane after he was beefing with your colleagues, you made it very clear that, there's not much loyalty in the game that you play. And because, your partners up there are of questionable integrity sometimes themselves, it was easy for people to not hold you too much to the fire for that one. But this is different. These are brothers. And yeah, I understand Angela Yee's a sister. DJ Envy is a brother as well, without question. But these are genuine black men who have had the same upbringings, similar upbringings as you, Charlemagne. Grinded through a hard industry just like you, Charlemagne. Just want ownership, just like you, Charlemagne. And instead of reaching your hand out, instead of extending yourself to give these brothers a chance and, let them see that you're there for them, let them know that your platform and their platforms could do great things together, what do? You say that Kanye needs to pay Big Sean the money he owe him. It's nice that he out here talking, but give Big Sean the money you owe him now. That's funny to me. Shout out to the people over at Complex, Everyday Struggle Team, Nadeska, Academics, Wayno, because they said the same thing I said about this. How prove that it is Kanye that actually owes him the money? Because Kanye just signed those people to a label. And yes, the label is Good Music, and it has Kanye's Good Music at the front of it, and he is the face of Good Music. But let's not pretend like we don't know that these deals go way up the chain, and Kanye may own a percentage of these people's masters. And for those that don't know, the masters is like the original, the finished copy of the record that the record labels hold on to once they sign you to a record deal. They'll get these records from you that you go record in the studio. You go record in the studio. You kill it. You going out of control. Hey, you going out of control. Hey, give me your soul. Hey, you going out of control. Yeah, crazy, so crazy, so crazy. Hey, she wanna have on my babies. Hey, she wanna have on my babies. Yay, swim with the Navy. Hey, crazy, so hot. Yeah, come up with this on the spot. Yeah, take it to tops. Yeah, going and never just stop. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So you in the booth, you going out of control. Yeah, you going out of control. Hey, you going out of control. Hey, so you in the booth going out of control. You come up with some shit. They talking about you the greatest. She sending pics of her naked. Naked. Shake it. Hey, you know what I mean? Like you just doing your thing. You just doing your thing. You know what I'm saying? You just doing your thing. And they recorded at the studio. You gonna get a copy of it, of course. But that original copy of that, once they hit stop recording, that is a copyright now. It has been written down into a version that has been copied to, in this case, a hard drive in a computer, right? I don't want to get too technical. But so this has been, now it's been fixed to a form that can be played back, this session in the studio. You know what I mean? Some people use different programs, and then they'll bounce it down to like an MP3. So you might get an MP3. You might even get a copy of the whole project with everything layered out separate. But the people who own that project, if that's being paid for by a major label or a production company, even a small label, small production company, a manager, if they pay for your projects to get done, 9 times out of 10, unless you negotiated a great deal for yourself, they will have in the deal that they will own these masters or a percentage of these masters forever, or for like 55 years, 100 years, depends. Different contracts have different terms. So, and that might be your first 2, 3, 4, 5 albums they want to own the masters for. So, you know, a lot of that, and that's been going on for a long time in the record industry. And that's how these places literally, you know, create empires off of the intellectual properties of artists. And, you know, if you were a record label that's been in business for 40, 50, 60, 80 years, you know, and you've amassed 70 to 100 really big albums from the thousands of artists that you've had signed to your label over the years, you know, that's like billions and billions of dollars worth of intellectual property, if not more. And there's no end to how much money a great, what they call catalog, which is, you know, all the songs you own, a great catalog, all the albums you are in possession of, can make money forever. Literally can make money forever. You know, their wealth, you know, they are assets that will continue to, over time, create returns on themselves if they are huge records. And yeah, that's just the way that goes. So it's very interesting that, you know, we're in this time where Kanye is requesting his albums back, and so Kanye has offered up the master's percentage that he owned as the head of good music. He says he owns around 50% of each of the artists' masters, and he's going to give each of the artists that was directly signed to him over at Good Music all their percentages that he owns. So that's dope. Zana is owed a ton of money from Good Music. You know, he had a diamond record. For those that don't know, diamond, that means you sold an equivalent of 10 million physical units of one project, one album. In this case, one song, that Panda song went diamond. He has a diamond record. You know, that's big. You know, a lot of times you get a lot of plays of your song. Your song will get a lot of listens. You know, people will go party to your song. But for over, you know, the equivalent of 10 million people, 10 million individual sales of your song to occur. And, you know, with streams, it might have been like, if some of that was as stream sales, or even if that was just digital downloads, if he digitally sold over 10 million downloads of the song, and each download, digital download, was equivalent to an album. That's insane. Like, that's great. Even Diamond very rarely happens. Very rarely do artists go diamond. 10 million copies of the same song. And it doesn't seem like, oh well, we have billions of people in the world. You wouldn't think that it would be that. It's not an easy feat. Artists will sell hundreds of millions of records over the course of their career, or tens of millions of records over the course of their career, sometimes just millions. But to sell 10 million physical, or, you know, the equivalent of that, whether that be through downloads and streams, or a combination of downloads, streams, and physical, to sell the equivalent of 10 million in America, like, that's huge. That's huge. That's huge. And, you know, salute to him. he's been sending out some tweets to Kanye. Where's my percentage? He want his money, and I really can't blame him. His relationship with good music didn't end the best. It's up in the end, debatable about who's to really blame for that, but that relationship didn't go as well as it could have. So he of course wants his money. He of course wants to be able to put himself in the best situation going forward, whether he's going to go independent, whether he's going to stay with his new label situation. Only time will tell for designer, to have one of the biggest records in the world and still be so young, he really has time to really reinvent everything he's doing if that's what he wants to do, and come out smashing still. And the finances will only help. So yeah, that's going to be interesting to continue to look at going forward. But Charlemagne, back to you, brother. Why is that your business? Why are you the person? You need to prove, Charlemagne, that the paperwork shows that Kanye is not just the face of the label, that he really owns, made the decisions, and has a ownership stake in these individuals' contracts, to where he would even be liable. Because if the label's liable and not Kanye, based on how the agreement is, then you just said Kanye because you know that that's the hot name that everybody can know, and because Kanye is trying to get ownership. And so you've been brought out yet again to be the guy to take down other brothers. And if that's the role you playing in this game now, Charlemagne, I feel very sad for you. If that's the role you playing in this game now, Charlemagne, I feel very sad for you. Because when you play those games, you can get yourself excommunicated from the hood. You can get it to the point where you can't come back in the hood at all. So be careful, man. Be very, very careful, because you can get yourself really caught up. And then what are you gonna do? What will you do then? But just be stuck. Super stuck. Stuck. What the fuck? Stuck. Super stuck. But yeah, I'm just playing. But Charlemagne, listen, man, it makes no sense why you feel you are the ambassador for every time white folks got a problem with one of us, that you're gonna be the guy that stops the whole thing. You are not that guy. Who told you were that guy? Like, there's just so many problems with this notion that you think that you have the authority to continue to speak on these other grown men's issues. I don't understand it. Don't understand it at all. Don't understand it at all. What are you doing? Just tell me, because doing is making people extremely upset with you. And that is going to get you caught up out here, my friend. That will get you in a lot of trouble. I don't know if you know it or not, Charlemagne, but your ghetto card could get revoked out here real quick. And I'm not the person that would do it. I'm just good brother trying to warn you, Charlemagne. Sorry, guys. I'm drinking on this lemon tea. Honey at the bottom of the cup. Man, listen. Just trying to tell you, Charlemagne. This is not the issue you want. So tread carefully. Tread carefully, my friend. Tread carefully. But yeah, it's your boy, Phantm Phuego. Anchor FM is the place, as always. His ghettopointofview@gmail.com. If you have any questions, his ghettopointofview@gmail.com. HISGHETTOPOINT. His ghettopointofview@gmail.com. Jump to this break real quick, guys. I'll be right back. Yeah. So we back, man. Shouts to Jimmy Butler, man. He's been putting in work. He's been going to town. He's been doing his thing. Can't say enough about that, man. They actually playing a little bit. That should be pretty interesting. I actually think this may go 7 now. Seeing everything that's been happening, to be honest. I think Jimmy Butler and them pick up one more tonight. Actually, I'm lying. I think tonight is when LeBron closes it out. Also, today is National Father-Daughter Day for anybody, out there with a dad. LeBron's a dad. A lot of the players in the NBA are dads. A lot of my wonderful listening audience is dads. And daughters, of course. So shout to y'all. Shout to everybody, spending time with their dad. All the daughters spending time with their dads today. Shout to y'all. If you're not going to be physically where your dad is at, if he's in another part of the world, dad, if you're not where your daughter's at, she's in another part of the world, she's in another state, she's in another city. Sit up, let her know you care, let her know you love her. Happy Father-Daughter Day. But yeah, shout to Jimmy Butler, shout to the Miami Heat. They've been going to town, they've been doing their thing. Jimmy Butler put up 35 to stave off one more game, 111 to 108. As the Lakers finally lost in the Kobe edition uniforms, unfortunately. But I definitely feel a strong comeback tonight. And I think they're going to lock that up and get that ring. I'm getting out of here, guys. I'll see you guys on Wednesday. It's your boy, Phantm Phuego, bringing you the news, views, previews, and reviews for just a twist of my ghetto point of view. It's been a wonderful time. It's always a great time with y'all. It's always a wonderful experience. You guys are the best audience in the business. Please continue to like, share, subscribe, put your notifications on, favorite the show, tell a friend and tell a friend, share it out to your different social media networks, let people know your favorite episodes, your favorite guests, and tell me who you think I should bring on the show next. You want to hear some more people on the business end of music, you want to hear some people in relationships, some people in entertainment news, you want me to bring some of my athlete friends through? Let me know what type of guests you guys would like to hear on the show. His ghettopointofview@gmail.com. I can bring some people that's more politically active as well, some socially conscious guests as well. I got the full gamut of people. If you're looking for any type of advice, I promise you I can bring them through. Health, wellness, finance. I got a lot of dope guests lined up, but let me know what you guys thinking as well. And, we'll definitely make that happen. Shout to Damo So Crazy as well. Definitely make sure you listen to some of his music. Check out that Bronson on Bronson record. It's so fire, tearing up the streets right now. His ghettopointofview@gmail.com. His ghettopointofview@gmail.com. His ghettopointofview@gmail.com. Love and light, gang. You guys are awesome. I'm always blessed to be able to rock with y'all. Peace. See you Wednesday. We out.